Hey guys, this is James from AppSpy.com, and today we're taking a look at the 5 most interesting games to appear on the App Store over the past week. First up this week we have Quad Blast, an exciting little arcade shooter in which you take control of a small orb which you must tilt around the screen, blowing up other blobs along the way. It's sleek, it's simple, and it's quite addictive when you get into it, although the ability to only shoot at the 4 points of the compass does take a little bit of getting used to. Once things start getting tough, you'll need to upgrade your beam, your armor, and add little perks that you can gain either through play or by splashing a bit of cash on IAPs. It's free to download right now, and it's quite good fun. Next up, Tales of the Adventure Company, which shares something in common with Dungeon and other tile-based roguelikes. You have to advance through the levels of a dungeon, tapping tiles to uncover either enemies, boosts, or allies. You have to manage your squad's health while also making sure you uncover the right tiles, discover the key, and get to the doorway and out of the dungeon. Though the visuals might appear simple, it's actually got a surprising amount of depth, and you'll quickly find yourself juggling your allies to preserve hit points while keeping an eye on the patterns in which the enemies appear. It certainly doesn't break the mold, but it adds enough to the formula to make it interesting for genre fans. You love Tetris, don't you? And unless you have literally no soul, you love magic as well. 99 Bricks Wizard Academy attempts to smush these two things together in a tower building game that utilizes both Tetronimo blocks and lightning bolts. It's an interesting merger of a couple of genres, and though it might seem familiar, it's actually quite compulsive. I quickly lost 20 minutes to erecting my first 2 towers, and I had quite a good time doing it. This one will test your reflexes and your balancing skills as well, plus it gives you a basic grounding in spellcraft. If you're old enough to remember the original Skyforce, which came out on Java back in 2004, then Skyforce 2014 may be a sight for sore eyes. This anniversary iOS edition has maintained the vertically scrolling shooter action of the original, while prettying up the graphics and laying a free-to-play model over the top. There are huge bosses, loads of upgrades to earn, and a very clever control system which sees your craft hovering just above your finger, allowing you to see all of the screen whilst not obscuring your own craft. Smart that. There are a few wait timers when you apply upgrades, but at present there aren't any in-app purchases. There is a bit of grind, but despite that it's a solid, impressive looking shooter that does the original fairly proud. And finally this week, where are all the jousting sims on iOS? I hear no one asked. Well, Gameloft has bowed its knee before iOS royalty and given us Rival Knights, a jousting sim which puts you in control of a blokey on a horse with a big stick. In an odd way, it's quite similar to CSR Racing. To speed up your horse, you tap the screen when a needle hits the green indicator, and then you use your finger to drag the lance into position to get that perfect one-strike kill. It makes a very strong first impression with its pretty graphics and motion-captured knights, but it does start to get quite grindy quite quickly. Though it's free to download, you are going to have to start coughing up for gems if you want to advance at a sensible rate. It's initially entertaining, but don't be surprised if the shine wears off sooner rather than later. That's it for this week, but be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us again for next week's top iPhone and iPad games. This has been James with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.